The Purdue swimming and diving teams culminated the first half of the season at home this weekend, hosting the Purdue Invitational at the Boilermaker Aquatic Center. While the men's team was undefeated and the women's team had top 5 of their previous 6 meets, the Invitational brought stiff competition in the form of the men's and women's teams from Ohio State, Louisville, Cincinnati, Missouri, and Southern Illinois, along with the Arkansas and Michigan women's swim teams. The men's team started things off right, winning the first event, the 200-yard freestyle relay, on Friday night. They made it 2 in a row with sophomore Andrew Starr's victory in the 500 freestyle. The women had to wait until the third event of the night for a win, but senior Allie Smith was victorious in the 200 IM. Other notable performances include junior Lauren Roth, 2nd place in the 500 freestyle, and sophomore Chuck Destro's 2nd place in the 50 freestyle by only 1/100th of a second. Over in the deep end of the pool, Purdue's diving teams further bolstered the efforts of the program. The women's team had seniors Aaron Mertz and Kara Cook place 2nd and 3rd in the 3-meter dive. On the men's side, junior David Bedaya led the Boilermakers into the top 4 positions of the 1-meter dive, followed by senior JP Perez, senior Danny Cox, and sophomore Jimmy Page. Saturday brought several more victories for the men. Junior Ben Wachtel won the 200 freestyle and anchored the 800 free relay for the winning Purdue team. Chuck Destro was 2nd in the 200-yard backstroke, and Purdue's men captured 6 of the top 12 spots in the event. The women placed 3rd in the 800 free relay. Aaron Mertz won the 1-meter dive for the women, and David Bedaya topped the night's 3-meter diving event, with JP Perez and Danny Cox rounding out the podium. The final day of the Purdue Invitational saw more excellent performances from the men's and women's teams. David Bedaya, in his final competition platform dives at the Purdue Aquatic Center, won the event over Purdue's Danny Cox. Another 1-2 finish came on the women's side from Kara Cook and Aaron Mertz. In the longest event of the meet, the 1650 freestyle, Andrew Starr and Matt Stewart placed 2nd and 3rd, while sophomore Caitlin Hamilton placed 3rd for the women. Ben Wachtel won his 2nd event, the 100 freestyle. Emily Fogle set a new school record in the 200 breaststroke, besting the previous time by a huge margin of almost 3 seconds. She had this to say about her performance.
I just wanted to come back. I put a suit on. I didn't know what to expect. I thought, why not? I didn't wear a suit all weekend, and I just wanted to see what I could do at finals tonight. 200 breast isn't my favorite event, but I mean, I just wanted to come out, end the fall season with a good swim, and I think I did.
The last event saw the Purdue women finishing 2nd and a men's victory in the 400 freestyle relay. At the conclusion of the meet, the men remained undefeated, coming out ahead of Ohio State and Louisville. Captain Ben Wachtel spoke about the meet and Purdue's season so far.
Like, the thing that stood out to me the most was that the guys that were struggling at the beginning of the week kept battling. We were able to kind of push through some struggles early on and keep going. I think it says a lot about how far our team has come in the past 5 weeks.
The women's team finished 4th, behind Arkansas, Louisville, and Ohio State. Coach John Klinge had some remarks about his team's performance.
Most people had a great swim somewhere during the meet, but maybe not all their swims were good. So we got to make sure that our whole team is clicking at one time as we go into the conference meet. I thought our upperclassmen, for the most part, really did a good job of setting a good tone and being consistent through the whole weekend. And I thought maybe some of our more inexperienced swimmers struggled a little bit with swimming with this caliber of athletes and so on. And they're definitely talented enough to. They work hard enough to. I think it's a little bit of belief and a little bit of consistency of an approach, and I think that'll be fun.
While this event concludes the first half of Purdue's season, the Boilermakers return in the spring with a full schedule leading up to the Big Ten championships. Men's team coach Dan Ross talked about the meet and how it bodes for the rest of the season.
And right now, there's this very satisfied team. I hope they're not satisfied tomorrow, but they can think about it for 24 hours, and we'll come back and be like, okay, now it's time for us to our big goal, and that's the Big Ten championship. Sometimes our golf coach has the men's golf team play from the women's tees so they can find a way to score. If you can't break par from the women's tees, what's the point in going back from the back? We were kind of saying that if you want to win a Big Ten championship, you got to find a way to win an invitational. That doesn't mean that we're going to beat them at the end or anything else. What it is that this weekend, our guys found a way to win against some really good competition.